Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We're going to get to the JRC here in just a moment, but first to shorten disclosures and the trigger warnings. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shop campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, pertinent links are going to be there in the description box for you with some labels as well so that you know what you're clicking on. That way, if you'd like to do a deep dive on your own in regards to the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, you are certainly more than welcome to do so. Trigger warnings. We have this channel marked not for kids for a reason. First off, we do use profanity, mainly because I have extreme difficulty in turning the profanity off. I have zero filters, and I'm 40. Just at the start of middle age. I don't see that changing anytime soon. And of course, we cover dark topics such as the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, Agape Boarding School for Boys, Circle of Hope, Tobin World, Kennecott Camp. It's a pretty long list, in which case you're going to hear some vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. So if you do have a child that is 16 and younger and they are watching this, parental supervision is very much advised. Also, this is amateur hour. I don't have a whole lot of free time these days, trying to just be able to keep up on everything in regards to the multiple series that I'm currently juggling on this channel, as well as attending virtually some of these No Kings activities. Because, well, let's face it, some of us are transportation challenged, and I still feel like I have a right to participate. So, yeah. I want to first off, before we get started, thank the glorious SOB who live streamed in downtown in my city today. The No Kings protests. We had the two big ones were up at the library center that's heading out of town, heading towards Nixa and Ozark, and the other one took place downtown in the historic Walnut area. And yeah, they just sat there and live streamed it. And get this, this is one of the things that will actually make me love my city. You know, right before the next ableist crap gets thrown at us, that is. They decided to combine, because this is the Pride marches today downtown. So they've got booths with free water, there's some food down there, and let's face it, the costuming is fantastic, and there are more than a few people I will probably be annoying because their eyeliner game is superior. Forget all that, sorry. One of my hyper focuses, because I can never quite get the eyeliner correct. But they had it on live stream, so we literally have Pride going on, and it's just simply melded together with the No Kings protests. And isn't that just kind of amazing? It's like all the things you can use to piss off the Missouri GOP all happening at once, everyone working together. It's beautiful. And whoever was streaming that, I salute you. You are a scholar and a gentleman, gentlewoman, gentle person, they, them. However you wish to identify. I'm not sure, so I figure I would try to get out as many as I could remember. Because I'd rather not offend people. Easiest thing in the world, call people what they ask to be called. Whether you agree with it or not, because it's not you. But neither here nor there. That was pretty awesome. Alright, now before I go too deep into that side of politics, let's face it, today has been absolutely nuts. So, we are going to go ahead and pivot back towards the JRC, of course. So, where we left off, a May 19th, 2023 Bloomberg article titled Into Electric Shock Device Use on Disabled People Lies with FDA stated that disability advocacy groups have met with the FDA to try and persuade them to swiftly issue a rule banning that use of the device. Oh no! How horrible of us! Are you all smoking crack? The whole point is we think your device is dangerous, monstrous, and barbaric. Did you really think we were going to give up that fight? We literally believe that you've been traumatizing decade after decade of people with mental health issues and neurodivergent people for decades on end. Okay? You really think that after that overturn we were just going to throw our hands in our air and say, well, there, that's that, and just wipe our hands and walk away? A lot of the individuals who've been a part of this that are in my current age group of neurodivergent rights advocates have been threatened with just about everything. Right? I have had my family threatened. I've been threatened. My cats have been threatened. My mom's dogs have been threatened. My brother has been threatened. It's an endless list. Unfortunately for them, I'm an army brat. So I would respond to their threats by, emphasizing the fact that my stepdad and my brother are veterans. And they taught me and my mom how to shoot, and that my state is a hold your ground state. So, your funeral. But yeah, folks, come on now. You're gonna act like someone's biased just because they were willing to meet with advocacy groups, the exact same advocacy groups that have been working in concert together with service providers, working together with literally the Council of Directors for the National Departments of Mental Health. Yeah. Council of Pediatric Doctors and Dentists of New Jersey. It's not just us. But if you remember what I said in my previous video, the JRC does have a reason why they do that. If they just focus on us neurodivergent rights movement activists, they can get the population to give in to their own systemic ableism that they don't even think about. What I mean by that is they don't even think anything cruelly about us. It's just this assumption that maybe we don't understand the situation. And therefore, because of that, because we have a developmental disability, that maybe listening to us in regards to this device, you see where I'm going, right? It's not fair. It's absolute horseshit. It's dehumanizing and infantilizing. But I am a nihilist. I see things how they are, not how I want them to be. But I'm also an oxymoron. What do I mean by that? I am an optimistic nihilist. What I mean by that is, I see things and all their horrific glory. The optimistic side comes into getting others to see how bleak the situation is and begin working together to figure out ways to change it and make it better. So yeah, you shouldn't be shocked that advocates who've been fighting the JRC are still fighting the JRC. And if that means we have to meet with the FDA and work with them to reissue the ban so that we can protect your students that you torture mercilessly and get paid handsomely to do it, then that's what we're going to do. And I don't think for a single second that you did not have your own lobbyists up there, JRC, trying to get in and talk to the FDA as well. As a matter of fact, I actually believe you have had your lobbyists go in and speak with those individuals. You want to know why I believe that? Because I'm not stupid. Just like how I know that you all had your lobbyists speaking to the DC Circuit of Appeals. Did you see us bitching about it? No. We expected it. But then you turn around and say that it is not okay that once you got that overturned for us to go back to the FDA and essentially do the same thing? Sounds a little rules for me, but not for thee, doesn't it? That doesn't make things unfair, JRC. We are advocates who are trying to save another generation of kids from being forced to wear a human shock collar in your absolute bad acid trip, Disney puked, falled over, and died little school. It's like my own personal version of Dante's Ninth Circle of Hell. Okay? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You're not the only ones who can go and lobby, as it were. You're not the only ones who are engaged in political activism. You are not the only ones that when things go screwy, that you can go and speak to your own representatives. We have that right too, whether you like it or not. Saying that because they were willing to meet with us somehow makes the FDA biased, well then I can say the fact that you went up and sent your lobbyists to speak to the DC Circuit Court of Appeals, I could then say that that made their decision biased when they overturned the ban. You see, you can't have it one way and then not the other. You are either allowed to appeal decisions or you're not. The fact that we were up there to essentially get that appeal overturned again so that we can save vulnerable children from being forced on human shock collars should not be a surprise to anyone. It doesn't make anyone biased. It's just how the system works. The fact I even have to explain this is absolutely exhausting and insane. You don't get to control the narrative, JRC. Just because of that fact does not make anybody in this situation biased. It just means it is out of your control. Now, I understand how frustrating that is. I don't like when things getting out of my control. But you're gonna have to learn to live with it. Right? Do what the medical model tells us to do. Find yourself a stress ball. Go beat the hell out of a kickboxing bag. Go scream in a pillow. It's not biased just because people don't agree with you. Let me continue. The parents are distressed that the FDA continues only to meet with anti-GED advocacy groups and has failed to meet with those directly impacted. FDA, by policy, is obligated to listen to the voice of the patients, which in light of the patient's incapacity, come from the parents and court-appointed guardians. Do you need me to show you the clips again, JRC? Because I will. We're going to do that right now. That is how done I am with this. They're so full of shit. Because, yeah, I'm tired, folks. You'll have no idea. I have a better way to do it. Hold on, folks. I'm just going to show you a few clips here. Not actually have you look at them, but so we can absolutely show the complete and utter lie about how the parents haven't got to talk with the FDA panelists. Judge Rothberg Educational Center, as you can see, this is your own YouTube channel. If you look below here, Head Nurse Barron, testimony at the FDA panel 12 years ago. There's your clinician. There's your independent attorney. Do you see what these are, JRC? There's a parent, 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 parent. There's the FDA panel right there. Do you see that? See that? There too. I show that to you again to make a point. They are continuing to act like the FDA has been biased the whole time. That they've only spoken to us and nobody but us. And that the parents want a chance to talk about how this is going to hurt their children. How about how these parents are hurting or contributing to the continued hurting of their child? Why does nobody ever ask about that? Except us. Who's hurting the child more? The advocates, someone like me, who wants them to have sane, compassionate health care, and within the service system receive fair and safe service in regards to the supports they may need and assistance in going through their treatment programs? Or are you going to side with a parent who thinks that the best idea is for their kid to be stuck on a human shock collar for the rest of their lives and continue to try to convince themselves how somehow that is going to provide a better quality of life for their child, instead of training out us abusing ourselves for the JRC abusing us instead? Okay? And now, because they do so love to hit on us advocates for the obvious reasons alluded to towards the beginning of this video, I'm going to pull up the exact same letter that I showed you all just the other day to remind the JRC that it is not just disability rights groups here. Although, considering you should really stop with the whole, but these disability rights groups, they want us to not do this anymore. Could it possibly be because you're violating your students' civil rights and human rights in alphabetical order? And had this happened at Gitmo, instead of an insane doctor screaming that it's medicine, that you all probably would be in some supermax right now? Just say. But here, I grabbed that. Let me pull it up so I can see it. So let's go over these organizations again. Now, I'm going to remove all the ones that people like me are a part of. And I'm going to read the ones that that are service providers and what have you. Let me begin. The American Association on Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities, the Association of University Centers on Disabilities, the ARC of the United States, the Center on Human Policy, Law, and Disability Studies, Syracuse University, the Disability Rights Education and Defense Fund, Easter Seals, one of the second largest single service providers for people with developmental disabilities in the United States, the National Association of County Behavioral Health and Developmental Disability Directors, which would include people like my old boss. I don't think she's the director anymore, but Kathleen would have been one of those that signed on to this, among pretty much all the other types of heads in the departments of mental health in their own states. Want to know what those are, JRC? They're not advocates. These are directors of regional mental health centers for their state. The degrees required for their type of position is longer than my arm. Let me go ahead and continue, shall I? The National Association, oh no, I went through that one. The National Association on Councils on Developmental Disabilities. So essentially that is kind of a council that is come out of a bunch of all 50 states departments of mental health, but it's not just the directors. These are like your case managers, for example, the job coaches, things of that nature. National Association for the Dually Diagnosed, the National Disability Rights Network, Self-Advocates Becoming Empowered, TASH, United Cerebral Palsy, the University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey, School of Nursing and the University of San Diego Autism Institute. What are we noticing about all of these that I just read out to you? You have to be qualified with letters behind your name to be a part of some of the organizations that I just read off to you. These are not people like me. These are people who, they're the professionals, folks. Okay? Essentially, these are the folks that are the heads of individuals like myself out there in their states. People that we work closely together with to organize, to help roll out programs such as my help after being a part of the pilot project of person-centered planning first getting rolled out, coming then into office to work in that same service system out of the same office, no less, and help push that out. Yeah, our boss. That same boss that oversees all the case managers and works closely with service providers like ARC, like Easter Seals, like Burl, like NOVA, like Judifying Centers for Autism, like Abilities First, like the Centers for Independent Living, and coordinated efforts throughout our states. Okay? So no, not just us advocates. And I will repeat how sad I do find it that I have to keep repeating that. I may be an optimistic nihilist, but I'm still a nihilist though. So I will still do it until we no longer either live in an ableist world or I'm dead and won't matter anymore. And on that note of like weird dark humor, we're gonna cut out for this one. We don't get very many views on this channel, and the few we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. If you could be so kind, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and please don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time, and as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea absolutely do. Hope you have a good one. I will see you all in a little bit. Bye-bye, everyone.